This is video 1 from Unit 10, Lesson 2. We're still going to be talking about rational expressions, and we're going to look at multiplying them. Okay, so to multiply, just like simplifying, we factor out all numerators and denominators, and then we cancel out common factors. Then once we do that, you multiply across numerator and denominator. So just if you have fractions without variables, so let's say you have 1/2 times 4/3. Okay, so what you can do is you can cancel the 2 and the 4 because they have a common factor of 2, and then multiply across the top, so 1 times 2 is 2. Multiply across the bottom, 1 times 3 is 3. So you can cancel as long as one is in the denominator and one is in the numerator. They don't have to be in the same fraction, but they can. Just one is in the denominator, one is in the numerator. Okay, so if I look at this first one, nothing to factor out of any numerator or denominator. Nothing that can be canceled because like these x and x squared can't be canceled because they're both in denominators. So I have to multiply across the top. 3 times 4 is 12. And multiply across the bottom. X times x squared is x cubed. And then we're done. So as long as you factor and cancel before, then you should be simplified. You shouldn't have to reduce once you do the multiplying. So same thing for number 2. Nothing can cancel or factor, so negative 12 on top. A squared times a cubed is a to the 5th. Remember, if you multiply a common base, you add the exponents. Okay, on this one, x minus 5 times x minus 7, x plus 3 times x. Nothing can be factored, and then nothing can be canceled. Remember, you cannot do this because this x is attached to this minus sign. There's those invisible parentheses. So you can't cancel that x with any of the other x's. So we multiply across the top. And then multiply across the bottom. Remember, these all have parentheses around them. So when we multiply the denominator, we'll put the x, the single term first, and then x plus 3. And then what we can do is multiply these out. So we can use FOIL on top. So x times x is x squared. My outer, x times negative 7 is negative 7x. The inner, negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And the last, negative 5 times negative 7 is positive 35. And then on the bottom, I can distribute x squared plus 3x. I need to combine my like terms on the numerator. Negative 7x minus 5x is negative 12x. Okay. I still can't cancel out those x squareds because they're still attached with a minus or a plus sign. So it's still like having invisible parentheses around it. Okay. On 4, let's see. 2x plus 1, nope, nothing can factor. 6x is a single term, so nothing can factor. 3 is a single term, so nothing can factor. And I am going to do this, so 4x squared minus 1. No common terms, but it's a perfect square, so it's difference of squares, because 4 and 1 are perfect squares. Alright, so let me factor. I'm just bringing this left fraction down, and let me factor the denominator of the right. So perfect difference of squares. So the square root of 4x squared is 2x. The square root of 1 is 1. So plus 1 minus 1. Okay, so factoring. And then we want to cancel common factors. So I can cancel the 2x plus 1s And then since this 3 and 6 are not attached with a plus or minus, there's not parentheses, I can cancel those as well. Okay, so then multiply across the top. So on the top I have 2x, and on the bottom I have 1 times 2x minus 1. And it doesn't matter if you put parentheses or not, but if you do, I think maybe it'll help you know that you cannot cancel in those 2 x's. Okay, so nothing can cancel or factor the x minus 2. No common factors, and it's not quadratic. There's not perfect squares. There can be something that's factored out of the negative 8x minus 16. So I'll do that. And then this 8x can't factor. Okay, so I'm going to factor out a negative 8 from the negative 8x minus 16, so I'm going to get x plus 2. Okay, my x squared minus 4, that is difference of squares, because x squared and 4 are both perfect squares. So the square root of x squared is x, the square root of 4 is 2, and 1 is plus, 1 is minus. Okay, so now I can do my canceling. All right, well, the x plus 2's cancel, the x minus 2's cancel, the 8's will cancel, but on top that's a negative 8, so I'm still left with negative 1. Okay, so almost everything canceled. It looks like on the top all I have is a negative 1, on the bottom all I have is an x. Okay, so we're ready to do Unit 10, Assignment 2.